It's Thursday, May 31st. Welcome to your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a fire on the Merritt Parkway Wednesday evening, several high school students arrested after a big fight, and later on a preview of our newspapers this week. Frank Granito has your forecast and your Nutmeg Sports Update, and Donald Eng will join us later to take a look back on this day in history. But first, Fairfield firefighters battled a two-car fire on Wednesday evening on the Merritt Parkway. The department shared some video from the scene. Now, a motor vehicle accident was reported Wednesday at 7:17 p.m. on the Merritt Parkway southbound between exits 44 and 42. Now, multiple reports were received that those vehicles were on fire, but at the time it was unknown if those occupants had exited. Well, Fairfield Fire Department responded and found both of those vehicles fully engulfed, and all occupants were accounted for and uninjured. Now, Connecticut State Police closed both lanes of the southbound side of the parkway for the duration of those fire operations. The cause of that accident is under investigation. The fire department says that last fire unit left the scene at about 8:20 p.m. And in other news, 10 Ansonia High School students were arrested Wednesday morning following a fight at the school. Now, police say around 7:10 in the morning there was a fight at Ansonia High School involving 9 female students. Now, that fight occurred outside the cafeteria, and all those students involved were arrested. 7 of those female students were juveniles. Now, all of those juveniles were released to a parent or guardian. Now, the other 2 students arrested were 19-year-old Emily Hamilton and Nichelle Hamilton, age 18. All of the females were charged with third-degree assault and breach of peace in the second degree. Now, the injuries from the fight were minor, police said, consisting of mostly some scratches. Now, a 10th student, a 15-year-old boy, was arrested when he allegedly yelled and swore at a teacher who told him to stop taping the fight and leave the area. Now, police say that fight was the result of an ongoing problem between 2 groups of females, and that the Ansonia Police Department has investigated 3 other similar incidents and made 9 arrests since February of this year related to that issue. Now, police say the school resource officer, Michael Berry, has attempted to work with both the students and parents to mediate that situation. And a Milford man was arrested on a warrant for allegedly stabbing another man at a Memorial Day party on May 28th. Now, according to Milford police, on May 28th at about 10:40 p.m., police received a report of a stabbing that took place at a Milford home. Now, witnesses told police that during a Memorial Day party, one guest was stabbed in the neck and the hand by an uninvited guest, 28-year-old Christopher Wesolowski of 23 Granville Avenue in Milford. Now, Wesolowski is accused of stabbing the man following a verbal confrontation by the male victim, who approached Wesolowski about having a handgun and allegedly pointing it at other guests throughout the course of the party. Now, the victim was transported to an area hospital for non-life-threatening injuries and later released. A search warrant was executed at Wesolowski's residence, and police seized a handgun and a knife there. Wesolowski was taken into police custody on May 29th. And according to the Associated Press, a body has been found in the waters along Connecticut's coast. Now, police say that body was discovered in the Noank section of Groton around 11:30 Wednesday morning. Now, the Groton Police Department says the case does not appear to be suspicious, and they are treating it as an untimely death. Now, police say the body is not believed to be connected to the 2 boaters who went missing in Groton on Sunday. The name of that deceased person is being withheld pending notification of next of kin. And in Monroe, a smoke detector alerted a Friedman Lane family to a dryer fire that caused fire and smoke damage in the lower level of a single-family home. Now, firefighters were notified of that fire in the home shortly after 6 p.m. on Wednesday. One of the occupants was able to contain that fire with a garden hose until the fire department's arrival, while the other occupant and 2 children got out of the house. Now, firefighters confirmed there was no further extension and ventilated smoke from the structure. According to Fire Marshal William P. Davin, confirmed that the fire was contained to the laundry room with smoke damage to the lower level family room. Now, Davin estimated the damage to be about $20,000 to $25,000. Davin also stressed the importance of having working smoke detectors throughout your home. He said without a working smoke detector, that fire damage would have been much more severe. All right, taking a turn now, we're going to throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at your forecast. Frank.
All right, thank you, Kate. Mostly cloudy skies around Fairfield County right now with some passing showers on the way for this afternoon. At least it's cooler out compared to the past few humid days. A high of 67 expected today. Mostly cloudy overnight and some more showers passing through before Friday. It'll be a little warmer tomorrow as the humidity back on the rise, which could lead to an afternoon thunderstorm or two. We may even see a shower during your morning commute. Low cloud cover overnight with a low of 66 and mild conditions before Saturday, where we've got a lot of the same on the way. Temperatures in the high 70s, low 80s, a little bit of humidity, on and off showers, periods of sun and clouds. It should rain Saturday night, but hopefully clear out for a dry Sunday. But honestly, Kate, the start of next week not looking much better, as I think we've got more rain on the way.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We are going to step out for a break. Come back. Donald Lang will have your look back on this day in history. We have more local news and your Nutmeg Sports Update after this. Spring is in bloom, and so are the deals at Honda of Westport's Dream Garage Spring event. See and test drive the all-new 2018 Honda Clarity 110 MPG plug-in hybrid sedan. Stop in today and see why we've been named Deal Rater's Dealer of the Year for the 4th year running. Honda of Westport, where peace of mind is part of the deal. Get a fresh start to the new year by shaking up your meal routine. Walter Stewart's Market is your local source for a delicious selection of fresh and convenient salad shakers, like Southwest salad with chicken, Cobb with organic chicken, Power Vegan with fruit and quinoa, Greek salad with tabbouleh, and grilled shrimp with hominy. Grab one from our salad case or order from our deli today. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today.
I've had Newtown Savings Bank my whole life. You don't have to worry about talking to a machine. You're talking to real people. You're getting real help. I'm banking local, and I'm loving it.
Spring is in bloom. Welcome back to this May 31st edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Lang. Don.
Well, Kate, we're going to stay kind of Eurocentric today, starting with in 1859, the clock tower at the Houses of Parliament, which houses Big Ben, which you can't see there because he's actually inside the tower, begins keeping time. When completed, it was the largest, most accurate clock in the world. Big Ben refers to the bell, not the clock. It weighs 13 tons, and if you go to London now, you won't hear it because it's currently silenced for a 4-year renovation project where they will finally be adding an elevator. 1916, the Battle of Jutland takes place off the coast of Norway. The British Grand Fleet engages the German High Seas Fleet. This is the only large-scale naval battle of the war. That is actually the ironically named HMS Invincible that you see there. More than 350 ships involved, 10,000 sailors would lose their lives. The battle was inconclusive, much like World War I in general. Huge numbers of men engaged, appalling loss of life, and the whole thing was pretty much pointless. 1977. The Trans-Alaska Pipeline is completed. Now, construction began shortly after the first OPEC oil embargo. It took about 6 years to complete. The pipeline runs 800 miles from Prudhoe to Fairbanks, carries about 600,000 barrels of oil a day, about a third of its capacity. It's also insulated to keep the permafrost from defrosting and to keep the oil from freezing. Oil takes about 12 days to make the trip from Prudhoe to Fairbanks. Finally, now we go to 1962 in Jerusalem for this.
Now in a 300-page judgment, Eichmann is found guilty of crimes against the Jewish people, crimes against humanity, and war crimes. The verdict made Eichmann liable to become the first man to be executed under a civil court verdict in the state of Israel. Sentencing comes 4 days later. Eichmann to die on the gallows. He still has available to him an appeal to the Israeli Supreme Court. And if turned down there, an appeal for clemency to the Israeli...
Yes, that was, of course, Adolf Eichmann there, the Nazi SS officer who organized the final solution to the Jewish question. We call that the Holocaust. Learning his fate, and today, on this date, 1962, executed just outside Tel Aviv. His body was then cremated, ashes scattered into the ocean. That is your look back in history for today, May 31st. I'm Donald Lang.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, a Stratford man accused of stealing and cashing checks is facing larceny charges from Stamford police. 29-year-old Timothy Calzone of Prairie Spring Road was charged on Wednesday with 4th-degree larceny, 4th-degree attempted larceny, and conspiracy to commit larceny. Now, Stamford police said a complaint had been received by a Stamford corporation claiming that several business checks had been stolen from their office and cashed. Now, an investigation by the Stamford Police Financial Crimes Unit showed that Calzone had been subcontracted as an IT consultant there. Police said it had corroborated that Calzone stole checks and then arranged to have them cashed. Now, Calzone was ordered held on a $15,000 bond and was awaiting arraignment in Stamford Superior Court. And a former Newtown resident who operated a law practice in Bridgeport pled guilty Wednesday to stealing more than $1 million. 62-year-old Thomas Murtha, now of Birmingham, Michigan, entered a guilty plea to 1 count of wire fraud at federal court in Hartford. Now, John H. Durham, United States Attorney for the District of Connecticut, said Murtha operated a law practice under the name Meyer and Murtha LLC in Bridgeport. Now, beginning in approximately November 2011, Murtha stole at least $1.3 million from more than 20 individuals, including law clients, friends, and family members. Now, more than $516,000 of those stolen funds were for the benefit of an individual with mental health issues. Now, as part of the scheme, Murtha submitted false or forged documents to victims, that according to Durham. Now, Murtha also incurred charges on credit cards in names of others without their knowledge or permission. Now, the investigation revealed that Murtha used some of those stolen funds in connection with the purchase of a $725,000 house in Michigan. In September 2016, Murtha resigned from the bar after 3 grievance complaints were filed against him. He was then arrested on a federal criminal complaint on April 5, 2017, and a grand jury returned a multi-count indictment against him on August 16, 2017. Now, Murtha is scheduled to be sentenced in September. And Ridgefield police are investigating a larceny on Revere Drive that took place overnight on May 11th. Now, according to a report, about $400 and a purse were stolen from an unlocked vehicle that was parked in the home's driveway. Now, police said that homeowner did not report the item stolen until Thursday, May 24th. Now, the last vehicle larceny in Ridgefield took place on Old Sib Road on April 25th. Prior to that incident, Ridgefield police investigated several similar cases in 2018, including one at the rec center in January and more than 15 last year. Police are asking anyone with information about the car break-ins and robberies to contact them at 203-431-2797. And Ridgefield police have warned homeowners to lock their cars at night. And Connecticut State Police are raising awareness about the 100 Deadliest Days, which is the time period from Memorial Day weekend to Labor Day that represents the 100 deadliest days for fatal car crashes involving teen drivers. Now, AAA analysis of data from 2016 indicates that during those 100 deadliest days, more than 1,000 people were killed in crashes involving teen drivers. Now, that's an average of 10 people a day, and almost 30% of all motor vehicle deaths involving a teen driver were speed-related. Now, parents are encouraged to talk to their teens about the higher risk of fatal crashes during the summer months, especially involving speeding and driving at night. Now, state police say that the victims in these crashes are often not just the teen drivers, and this is a traffic safety concern for everyone, and as well as teens and their parents. Now, fatal crashes can also have an effect on everyone, not just the deceased and their family, according to state police. And in other news, Darien School Superintendent Dan Brenner has made his resignation official with a letter to the Board of Education dated May 30th. Now, that letter said his resignation would be effective either 90 days from May 30th or at a mutually agreed upon date between the board and Brenner to be determined at a later time. Now, Brenner will become the next executive director of the United Nations International School, as its Board of Trustees announced in a letter obtained by the Darien Times. Now, that letter said the search was a rigorous process, reviewing over 35 candidates from Europe, Asia, Africa, South, and North America, and the search committee invited 3 finalists to the school. Well, that letter said that Brenner will assume leadership of the school this August. There is much more on that story at DarienTimes.com. We're going to throw it over to Frank Granito now for your Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
All right, thank you, Kate. The CIAC state tournament's fully underway. We had the first round of the boys lacrosse tournament in Class L at New Canaan High School yesterday as the Rams taking on the Ludlow Falcons, the 4-13 matchup. And let's cue up the highlights here as New Canaan, a big winner in this game. 17-3 the final, and we start things off with the opening goal. Teddy Mangus behind the net, dishing in front, and Liam Griffiths on the backhand with his first of the game. The Rams an early 1-0 advantage. Fast forward a little bit, and here is Quentin O'Connell, the future North Carolina Tar Heel, as the junior pulls up from about 20 out and blasts one by Carter Liebrock. Liebrock getting a little piece of it, but not enough. 2-0 New Canaan with 3:09 to play in the first. Then Matt Costco feeds Owen Shin. Big high-to-low shot beats Liebrock in the 5-hole. 3-0 as the Rams rolling early on. But the Falcons would find an answer. Great run in transition here as Jack Owens flings one up ahead. Aiden Wyckoff on the doorstep. Catch and shoot. They would not be shut out in this first quarter. 39 seconds to go, and the Falcons on the board. Mac Dean here in the second quarter, going to do it all himself, keeps this ball in play on that end line, slips past Owens, the defender, and the quick no-look fire gets past Liebrock. That would make it 7-1 late in that quarter. Then Alex Berg, a big shot here, gets it past Carl Mazabras, so the Falcons a little momentum heading into halftime. 7-2 at the break, but they had the last laugh. That would probably be it, though. Mac Dean, big shot here from outside. Too fast for Liebrock. Dean's second of the game. And then some of the depth players for New Canaan getting in on the action. Luke Nolan makes it 15-3 late. Rams will go on and score two more. 17-3 the final. They will now play against Fairfield Prep in the quarterfinals on Saturday after the Jesuits took down the Staples Wreckers 11-10 in overtime yesterday. Remember that Prep got the better of New Canaan in the regular season with an 11-10 victory at Dunning. That game looking like it will be a 4 o'clock start on Saturday. Big games going on in girls lacrosse this afternoon as they get their quarterfinals underway. 7 of the 8 teams remaining are from the FCAC, as Darien will take on Fairfield Ludlow in the 1-9 matchup. You'll have Wilton and New Canaan in the 4-5 game. Number 7 Ward, the only team not playing an FCAC school, has got number 2 Cheshire. And a rematch again in the postseason between Greenwich and Ridgefield. Those games set for 4 o'clock this afternoon. Also going on today, you've got the FCAC Championship and boys and girls golf. The girls are out on the course already. Lauren Capone of New Canaan, she is the leader early on through 6 holes of play. She is at even par. You can find the live scoring at fcac.net for both the girls and the boys tournaments. That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports Update. Make sure you tune in at 2 o'clock this afternoon for Nutmeg Sports. We'll have highlights and breakdown of last night's game, but we'll also be joined by 2 of our HAN interns, Olivia Ronca and Haley Salvatore, as they did a feature piece this week on the FCAC champion Staples girls tennis team. Not going to want to miss that one, Kate.
Thanks so much, Frank. Looking forward to that. We are going to step out for a break, come back. John Kovach will join me, and we'll preview our front pages this week after this.
At Pamby Motors, we're not worried about being the biggest dealership. We're focused on being the best. We're dedicated to giving you the best experience we can. The Pamby Motors team is here to help you choose the right Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram in a friendly, pressure-free environment. And right now, during Ram Truck Month, get up to $14,000 off on all in-stock 2017 Ram 1500 pickups. Come in and see us for details. Visit Pamby Motors, Route 7 in Ridgefield, PambyZone.com.
UK Gourmet is the largest specialty grocer in the area, featuring food from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Over 80 teas to choose from and a brilliant assortment of biscuits to go with them. Over 70 cheeses from grass-fed cows, which makes a smashing difference in taste. The creamiest chocolate you'll ever taste using no artificial colors or preservatives. So say hooray for UK Gourmet, 78 Stony Hill Road in Bethel, or visit ukgourmet.us.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Ortho Connecticut Walk-In Urgent Care gives you direct access to orthopedic specialists fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Ortho Connecticut Walk-In Urgent Care can help. Open 7 days a week now at 4 locations: Norwalk, Darien, Westport, and Danbury. Go to myorthoct.com, like them on Facebook.
Create your dream home at Laurel Ridge. 3 bedrooms, 2-car garages, finished basements, wooded and lake views, recreation facilities galore. Stay connected to your local lifestyle with the convenience of being just minutes away from Fairfield County. Luxury townhomes that are smart, elegant, custom, and maintenance-free.
Welcome back to this Thursday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, joined now by our editorial director, John Kovacs, to preview our newspapers that are out this week. John, what are you looking at first?
Interesting news in Stratford. The Board of Education has approved new start times for schools starting next year. But in this era where there's a lot of schools looking at making the high school start time later, Stratford and Bunnell High School students are going to need to be in school 10 minutes earlier next year. You also have a woman charged with attempted murder after a stabbing that at a hotel during a fight. Stratford observing Memorial Day, Academy Hill, just a wonderful location for those ceremonies. And the Stratford Main Street Festival returns on Saturday.
All right, taking a look at the Easton Courier this week. Just recently, students able to show their talents at the Joel Barlow High School Barlow Palooza. So very cool there. Some photos, and of course some photos from Easton's Memorial Day Parade.
Milford's aldermen have adopted the 2018-19 budget, which will include tax cut of about $11 for the typical homeowner. A person hit by a car Sunday night in Milford. The town paying homage to Memorial Day, and a new school superintendent named to succeed Dr. Elizabeth Fieser.
All right, taking a look at the Trumbull Times this week. Some highlights, of course, from the Memorial Day celebrations and memorials. Also, John, and I know this is something you have a segment on Yankee Fishermen today, but an upcoming fishing derby for Ryan's Rebels, which is a great organization honoring the memory of Ryan Joyce. That's coming up this weekend. I know we'll be hearing more about that later.
Talking more about that at 1.
All right, and weird police story, but a man flashing his buttocks at a teen in the mall. Also, some cyclists aiming to break mental health stigma.
The Reading Pilot has photos from that town's Memorial Day Parade and a look at what students from Reading are doing in the Barlow Palooza Festival.
All right, looking at the Shelton Herald this week, some big news in Shelton, and that's that a building partially fell into the Housatonic River. This was on Canal Street. Some photos of that collapse, and there's also some video at sheltonherald.com. Also, the Board of Education signing a bus contract with the Durham Company. Shelton High School's new mural has a positive message. More on that and the artist behind it, and of course, some Memorial Day highlights.
In Wilton, Tor Aronson, a Wilton High senior, has become the first person on the East Coast to receive Ben's Bell, and that works to inspire, educate, and motivate people to realize the power of kindness and empower them to act kindly in order to strengthen themselves, their relationship, and their commitments. Wilton celebrating Memorial Day. The Wilton Historical Society reviving Objects of Desire style for the garden and home, and that will open on Friday with a preview party and continue all weekend. And Pixie Perennials welcomes visitors for the Garden Conservancy's open house, and that is on Saturday as well.
All right, taking a look at the Monroe Courier this week. The chilly, cloudy weather thankfully did not stop Monroe's parade on Sunday. Also, residents voicing some concerns at a forum with state legislators, and the district homework policy may get a makeover. So parents, teachers, and administrators coming together to tackle homework.
New Canaan's Memorial Day speaker with some strong messages during the talk at Lakeview Cemetery. The New Canaan Community Foundation awarding $650,000 in grants. And George Cody, someone I dealt with pretty much daily when I was the editor of the New Canaan Advertiser, not seeking re-election. He's been registrar of voters there for 24 years.
All right, taking a look at the Weston Forum this week. An update on the arrest of a former Weston Police Commissioner, Richard Phillips. Weapons found in a hidden room at his home following a domestic incident. Also a Weston doctor honored for humanitarianism.
The website SafeWise has named Darien the safest town in Connecticut. If you want to make your plans for the 2019-2020 school year, Darien is working toward those. Continued debate on a policy for Highland Farms. The Memorial Day Parade, which is always a big one down the Post Road in Darien, and the awards and scholarship ceremony at Darien High School.
All right, taking a look at the Ridgefield Press this week, some patriotic photos from the Memorial Day Parade. Also, the Board of Selectmen looking at tax break for seniors and seeing some issues there. Unfortunately, swastikas again found in Ballard Park. This has been an ongoing issue. So more on that in this week's Ridgefield Press. And in the race for the 111th District, John Fry gets the nod again, seeking his 11th term, and he will be challenged this year by Amy Berger-Giravalo on the Democratic side.
Our Arts and Leisure section takes a look at concert happenings in Ridgefield's parks, more commonly known as Chirp.
All right. And we are wrapping things up here on Coffee Break, but coming up at 1 o'clock we have Yankee Fisherman.
Lions Rebels, as we just discussed, and given all of the awful news on the Long Island Sound, visit some of the voting safety settings
so important to do. All right, and 2 o'clock, of course, Nutmeg Sports. I know you'll also be part of that, John.
We'll talk about the boys and girls lacrosse tournaments, and we'll take a look at the state girls.
All right, great. And we're going to wrap things up here, but we will see you tomorrow on your Coffee Break at 11 with the latest local news and more. Have a great day. Tripping over my words today. All right, thank you.
Yeah, I just stumbled over mine. I have some scenic